Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from TheRightTrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we're going to talk about how the market is continuing its breakout, and we're still very much bullish here. Bitcoin is moving even higher, getting close to that $9,000 level, which is going to be very important to get back above, and we're really just advancing in the right direction. We are continuing to see day by day higher highs, higher lows, and that's exactly what we want. So across the market, cryptocurrency is doing great once again. A lot of cryptocurrencies even pushing, that plus 20% level. So Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, all up almost around 20%. And other than that, make sure to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates, and make sure to check out my premium content for cryptocurrency buying opportunities. I actually released a new buying opportunity yesterday, so now would be a good time to get in. And with that being said, let's go ahead and start our technical analysis here with Bitcoin. So great buying volume over the past 3 days, actually increasing buying volume, and we really had yet another breakout today now that we moved above $8,500. So we're getting very close to that $9,000 mark, expanding Bollinger Bands, middle band moving towards the upside. We got a great bounce on this short-term uptrend line, and that basically confirms this uptrend even more in the short term. Indicators taking off as well here, still uptrending. So once we reach this $9,000 mark, which I fully think will happen here over the next day or so, we'll have to see if we're going to see a little bit of a pullback to the uptrend line, or if we're going to get even more of a breakout. I'm almost leaning to say that Bitcoin could really push with a lot of ease to $10,000 before seeing a slowdown. So we may see a little bit of resistance near $9,000, but overall, I think within the next few days, we're going to be heading towards $10,000 very quickly here, because technically in the short term, we just broke above $8,500. So the breakout really just began here for Bitcoin. And let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum next, see what's going on. So Ethereum was looking very good yesterday, and it's continuing to be very bullish here. We are breaking above our upper Bollinger Band now. Huge green buying candlesticks, and indicators really non-stop going up here. We're getting close to that 70 mark on the RSI. At this point, I think that we're going to break above that 70 line, which is even more bullish. Great buying volume here. There's really no sign that Ethereum is going to slow down just yet. With that being said, there is a bit of resistance at $600, but as you can see, we're already above that $600 mark, so that should act as support now. At this point, I think we're going to be able to reach that $700 mark very quickly, and we might even push up to $764 here over the next few days, maybe the next week or so. At the point where we reach $764, we may see a little bit of consolidation in the $700 range. But if we're able to get back above $764, there is another big gap where we could increase pretty quickly, all the way up to $917. So Ethereum definitely looking strong here and showing no signs of weakness at all. Let's take a look at Litecoin next, see what's going on. Litecoin is really picking up the pace here. We now broke above $145. That basically pushed us all the way to above $150, and we do have a lot of resistance around that $165 mark, because that's a previous resistance level, and that's where our previous longer term uptrend line is. So we'll have to see if we're going to manage to break above that, or if we might pull back a bit and consolidate. But overall here, we're still looking good. No signs of slowing down on the indicators, good buying volume. I do feel like we're going to have a little bit of trouble getting back above $165 just yet. We may, peak above that and come back down. But overall, we'll have to see, right? Because we are in breakout mode, but based on this little U-shaped formation, we'll be coming towards the top of that at $165. So there's just a lot of resistance in that area, and I just wanted to let you know about that. So let's go ahead and take a look at Nano next. Nano is right now sitting at 80,000 Satoshis. And we'll see if it consolidates a bit here. That seems to be what's happening. Overall, unless we drop back below 70,000 Satoshis, there's no real reason to be concerned here until that happens. We're probably just going to see some consolidation, or we could even start picking up the pace again and moving towards 100,000 Satoshis. Let's take a look at Ripple, see what's going on. So we're going to go over to the Bittrex chart, and right now, Ripple is looking very good. We actually managed to break above 84 cents, and we actually basically tested that dollar mark here today. Right under that, we are back above the 70 line on the RSI, which is bullish, but it does look like things might start to slow down here. And, it'd be great if we were able to get back above $1, but that is such a big round number that those type of areas are very hard to get back above, especially here where we already got a pretty nice run up. Wouldn't be surprising to see a bit of a pullback. With that being said, when we are in full breakout mode, it is possible to see a little bit more of a bump higher. You know, at that point we'd test $120.23 if we were able to get back above $1. But it looks like with this upper wick here on the current candlestick, we could start to see just a little bit of consolidation here, maybe slow down a bit, and then, you know, maybe a few days need to go by, maybe a week or so before we can get back above $1 and start pushing higher. Let's take a look next at NIO and see what's happening. So NIO was coming up on some resistance here previously. So let's see if it was able to get back above that level. And it does look like it successfully got back above $75. That's what we wanted to see. Now it's making a sprint towards that 70 line on the RSI. And $85 is the next resistance level. Could see some consolidation there if the market decides to slow down just a bit over the next few days. And then at that point, you know, it'd just be some consolidation between $75 and $85. But if we're able to get back above $85, we're definitely going to make a test for that $100 mark. And I think that could definitely happen, actually, because we're not even really above the upper Bollinger Band just yet. So that definitely could happen over the next week or so. But I think we won't break above $100 just yet, right? We will need to consolidate a little bit here somewhere before we start moving above $100 again. Let's take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Stellar Lumens, and see what's been going on. So Stellar was actually one of the strongest cryptocurrencies out there recently. Still has a lot of good buying volume. Indicators still looking great, to be honest. And the one sign of weakness that we have is these longer upper wicks on the two previous candlesticks. And, you know, we have a little bit of a doji candlestick here. So it seems like we're starting to struggle with that 4,500 Satoshi level, and that we're going to pull back to at least this blue uptrend line before moving back higher. Stellar isn't weak right now or anything like that, but it just needs to take a bit of a breather in the short term because it did get, you know, a non-stop run up here, and it got just a little bit overextended compared to the rest of the market. So seeing that it's not able to get back above 4,500 Satoshis, it's probably going to need to come back and just rest along this blue uptrend line, and then after that it should be ready to move higher again. Let's take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be Vertcoin, see what's been going on. So Vertcoin was a little bit slow compared to other cryptocurrencies as far as seeing an increase, but it's actually moving higher again now, and it seems to be picking up the pace as well. So Bollinger Bands indicators all moving higher at this point, and could even see a little bit of a breakout here, testing that $3.23 level. Since it is a little bit slower, I do feel like we won't be able to break back above that $3.23 level just yet. Probably going to have to test that at least once, and then come back to our uptrend line. But after that, we should be able to get back above that level. Let's take a look at Lisk and see what's happening. So Lisk was also coming up on some resistance, and right now it managed to get back above its resistance level, which was $12.15. So that's now going to act as some support. We'll have to see if this holds, though. Indicators showing no signs of weakness just yet. And like I said, the end of the symmetrical triangle formation for Lisk is actually currently around where it's at now. What that means is usually with these formations we reach the end of the formation, so we would probably just consolidate or maybe even pull back a bit before reaching the end of the formation, then breaking out higher or lower, most likely higher since the market is doing good. What I think, though, is since Litecoin seems to not really be stopping as far as the increase is concerned, we could see a little bit of a bump over the next week or so where we test our downtrend line, and even if we don't manage to get back above it just yet, we'd probably just pull back a bit and then, you know, break out towards the end of the formation towards the upside. Let's take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be Cardano. Cardano was able to really capitalize on the increase here, and it got a nice breakout higher. It's actually doing pretty good here today. It's coming up on some resistance at around 3,400 Satoshis, but we got a nice bounce on the 7 line on the RSI, which is very bullish. And, you know, that basically all this tells us that maybe it's not ready to slow down just yet. So we could still scratch by a little bit more upside. I'm going to go over to the Bittrex chart here where I have my previous lines drawn out. And definitely is resistance around this 3,400 Satoshi level. So we'll have to see how serious of resistance that's going to be. For now, though, it looks like it could move higher, and really, you know, wouldn't be surprised to see a test of 4,000 Satoshi at this point. I think it's going to happen either way within the next 2 weeks. But if it's the first attempt, we'll probably pull back just a bit before, you know, moving higher after that. For now, you know, everything is moving as expected. Great U-shaped formation recovery on the indicators. Let's take a look at IOTA next for our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update. And IOTA is currently breaking above $1.91. That means that it's trying to get back above $2, and $1.91 is actually an important support level now. We're back above the 7 line on the RSI. Very bullish here because we didn't manage to break above that the first time around, and it's basically telling us that, you know, we were able to recover on the uptrend line and continue moving higher. So we'll see if we're going to start to slow down a bit here now that we're coming up on $2. Definitely possible. But just the fact that we're back above $1.91 is a very good sign. And with that being said, this is the end of this daily crypto update. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.